Hello and welcome back to my Flosstube channel. Happy New Year. My name is Lizzie. I am on here and on Instagram as this Mrs. Fisher _stitches. How are you doing? I hope you've had a good festive break. I hope you've had a lovely New Year's celebration. Mine was very quiet. I think I was asleep before New Year because I had a long journey on New Year's Day and I wanted to be well rested. I have done I've actually filmed a third Flossmas, a third Flossmas video, but I'm going to recover the stuff that's in it because it's a bit late to put it up now. It had a bit too much editing. I didn't get around to it. Sorry the table's wobbly. I don't know why that is. We're in a different location, which I will come to the reason why in a bit, I'm sure. One moment. So it's about 7 by the time I've finished faffing with setting up the camera and getting the angles right. Got nowhere to put my tea other than on the wobbly table. Excuse me. 7:05-ish, 5:27, I don't know. On Saturday, the 3rd of January. Let's start as we mean to continue. My word for the year is going to be routine. Let's see if I can get into a routine of videoing. The husband has gone to the shops. Did I say 7:05? I don't think I mean that. I think it's 8:05. Maybe it's 5 to 8. It's Saturday morning. Husband's gone to do the weekly shop, which I'm very grateful for because we're a bit Mother Hubbard at the moment. And yeah, let's talk about stitching. So in my video, which you haven't seen because I haven't uploaded it, I've got, I think, just 2 finishes. The first one being Winter Quaker by Primrose Cottage. Here it is in all its glory. I loved stitching this. I couldn't stop. I absolutely adored it. It's on 46 count fabric by The Beautiful Stitch. It was the July or June fabric of the month. I've done it 1/2 with a variety of flosses, which were on the top of this box before I sent the whole thing onto the floor while setting up the video camera or my phone. So the flosses I've used are, the green is DMC 319. The yellow is the Gentle Art Gold Leaf. I love that yellow. I love it. It's like one of my favouriteest yellows. And the red is by Stuart Moore's Textiles and it's called Winterberry. And I think those 3 are staying on this ring, or maybe a slightly smaller ring because it's a bit extravagant for just 3 colours, as like a Christmassy palette. There we go. Smile for the camera. Yeah, lovely. I do have the Winter Quaker, which I might start. I need to find, I've got some upstairs, some white fabric or whitey blue fabric, because obviously Winter Quaker you need to do it on the right colour. But this is very festive. I love it. So that's one finish. Another finish that I made was a start and finish. It was a silly little thing. As a gift for a colleague who's going to get it in New Year. They got a picture of it. She's very heavily into penguins, so I stitched her this little penguin from the Geeky Stitch, I think they're called. I've got a box in the corner. Oh, I can't see. Anyway, Fiona gifted me some of the patterns from it. She had an advent box and gifted me the kits. And I changed out the thread in this. I don't know if you can see, but everything in it is sparkly. I changed it to a toile. Put a little bit of teeny tiny cord around the edge, probably won't focus, and a 2025 on the back, and just made it into a little tree ornament or something silly like that. And I think those were the finishes for Flossmas. I'm really pleased I finished my Winter Quaker, not Winter Quaker, Christmas Quaker. That's nice. I don't know how to finish that. Whether I make it into a cushion, because it's only little. Sorry if I wobble you. Oh, there we go. It's only little, I mean hand for scale. So it could be a nice palm-sized cushion, or whether I put it in a frame, or whether I do a fancy, what's it called, where you turn the edges over, hem stitch. But then what would I do with it afterwards other than have it screwed up in a corner somewhere? I don't know. So during Flossmas, I was so blessed by Bothy Threads when I won the opportunity to go and visit their new shop, and open their new shop and get lots of goodies. One of the goodies I got was the Advent box, and oh my gosh, it did not disappoint. I have no notes. It was just perfect. The first project that I started from it, and the only project I've started from it, was this one. I mean, I do plan to start the others. Was this one, and I will show you my progress on that. I will have to put not the author, the designer along the bottom, because I can't remember it. I've got them written down somewhere, but again, can't find that piece of paper. So here's my progress so far. I've done 2 of the 4 robins. No, 2 of the 3 robins. And so I've got 1 more to go, which I might work on tomorrow. I've got plans for stay stitching, and the back stitch. I'm thinking I probably won't put twerp and cheap. No, tweet and chirp. Twerp and cheat. Tweet and chirp. I probably won't put those words on. I'll just have the 3 little robins. Aren't they stunning? Aren't they stunning? Even without the back stitch, I love them. And I'm stitching this on 46 count dark sanditon, no, 36 count dark sanditon by Swan Bay Fabrics. 2/1. No, 2/2. Oh, I am not with it. I'll have to put the details down there. But that's gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. And the other kits that came in the box are all wonderful, but my favourite one came on, like, really towards the end. I've got the box on my lap, and like I said, I dropped it before I started videoing. So I'm just having to rummage through it and find the picture charts. I love this. Look at that. He's so perfect. I'm going to start him, and we've got the printed Ada again, not where I thought it would be in the box. Like, there's method to my madness. We've got printed Ada, so we don't have to stitch all the background. We'll just stitch Santa, and I'm so excited, so excited. I think I nearly cried when I opened that. It's just perfect. I've de-Christmased, otherwise I could have showed you my Christmas stitching. But I de-Christmased because we had a bit of a blip with some water ingress into the house, which is why I moved. We'll come on to that. But I'm looking forward to him being, you know, a faithful look. This will stay out all year. I've got plans to put it above my window that I'm facing, because we always get a robin in that tree with all the bird feeders and things. So he'll be out all year. But it just gives me all the Christmas feels putting Christmas stitches out. There are lots of other beautiful patterns in the Bothy box. I'm sure someone else has done it better than I would show you. I might do a little reel at some point about it, maybe when they release their new one, to show you what was in the last one. And I will definitely be purchasing this year's. I'll definitely be getting it. I loved it, and I think the order of things may have been a bit interesting. If, you know, the last thing we got was a big tote bag. If that had come at the start, we'd have had stuff to, you know, something to put things in. But I have, other than the ordering of things, no notes. It was absolutely perfect. Right, put that down, pick up the cup of tea, tell you about my week. My week got wet. We found that there was a hole in the cement that holds bricks together on the outside, right by the drain, where we've been hushing buckets of water when we clean out the turtle tank or what have you. So we've actually been chucking water back into the brickwork, but it also was having bounced back from a drain cover that we put down because one of the dogs isn't obsessed with checking out the drain. You can guess which dog it is if you know me. And turns out the people who had this house before us, because we just repainted when we came in over the top, used this really stretchy rubbery paint which was hiding a multitude of sins behind it. So once I started peeling that off, we discovered that we now need to redecorate because the wall here has got very little paint left on it. But it's nice. It's like peeling a massive sunburn. You can just poof. It's like peeling wallpaper, but it's not. It's paint. Very interesting. So consequently, we're living in a bit of chaos again, which is not how we anticipated 2026 going, but there we are. Can I say, if you have your cross-stitch stash stored against a window or an exterior wall, please now go check that it's not touching said window or exterior wall, because some of mine was. I haven't had to sacrifice any stitching, but I have had to sacrifice a project bag or two. My stitching is fine, fortunately. Wooden hoops, a couple of wooden hoops did not survive. Yeah, I had a horrible day a couple of days ago when I realised. I literally went to say, I'll just sort out my projects for 2026, which I'll talk about in a minute. And that 5 minutes then turned into going shopping for more storage, going shopping for stuff to fix cement, mortar, whatever it's called. Turned into paint peeling, spending literally the rest of the day peeling paint and removing skirting boards. And oh, it was a day. I wanted to spend the day stitching. I literally sat down about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening from 9 o'clock in the morning starting. Horrid day. So, public safety announcement, go check where your stash is. Check it's not going to get manky, mouldy, wet, damp. Bleh. What else have I stitched on, I hear you say? Well, I've had a few starts. Or have I just had... I've probably had tons of starts. I'm just going to talk to you about my stitching. And if I remember whether it's a start or not. Good for us, eh? So, my Christmas Day start. Leslie, Fiona and I all started this on Christmas Day. And we're doing it in various iterations of the colour scheme. This is the Northern Cardinal by Cottage Garden Samplings. And we're all a bit cardinal obsessed, having seen them for real when we were together in Canada. Here's my start. Got quite a good start on him, I think. Oh, I wonder if this will be my screen cap. Isn't that fab? I love him. And I am stitching this on 46 count Swan Bay fabric. It is their fabric of the 2 months. And it's this beautiful piece. There we go. It's very crumpled because that's how I rock and roll. It looks like the colour of my plaster at the moment. Dry in some places, damp in others. 46 count. There we go. You can call that damp plaster, Marie, if you're looking for a name for it. 46 count. It's going to be perfect. Look at that. Mwah. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And the reason I went for 46 count is because Swan Bay 46 count is a beautiful linen. I mean, you could wear... I said to my mum, look, you can make a shirt out of it. It's so nice. I said, yes, but it would scrumple. It would scrumple a lot, wouldn't it? You'd have to be forever ironing it. What I'm saying is it's so regular and even though it's linen. You have no problem. I can do this without a magnifier, and it's 46 count. This one, the beautiful stitch 46 count, I do need a magnifier for it. The holes aren't quite so clear. And that's in this bag I made. I made one for me, one for Fiona, and one for Leslie out of the same fabric that I saw Evtotes used. I went and saw it. I just saw it by chance, and I thought I recognised that, and then I realised Evtotes have used this recently. And all my threads are stored in this box that came in our little advent box from Bothy Threads. I've got the DMCs, and I've got the Classic Colourworks that's using Ladybird and Bing Cherry, and they're the Classic Colourworks Ladybug, sorry, not the Weeks Ladybug. I think that's the actual called for, and I'm not sure. One of us is using the Weeks by accident, but I can't remember who. Not me. So that's that one. Love it. Just need to get back to it. Oh, left the pattern out. Whoops. What else have you been stitching on, Lizzie? What else? What else? I have started... Right. Lots of my projects are now in plastic boxes because I went totally paranoid about water getting into my projects. So I've put them all in plastic boxes where water cannot get. Oh, I started this one. Here we go. So if you're looking, Jess, oh no, I'll do this one at the end if I remember. This, Jess Gets Stitching at Night are, no, Cross Stitch Jess, not Jess Gets Stitching, sorry, wrong Jess. Cross Stitch Jess and I are doing a neon sal where we found some beautiful neon colours and decided we'd stitch a project on them and not show each other till we finished it. I'm not sure what the point of not showing each other was. I think that's we should discuss, Jess, because I'd like to see your progress and I'd like to show you mine because I'm very excited by it. Next starts in this big box, and then I think we'll move on to 2026 plans. My next start was a Boxing Day start. So in the UK we have Boxing Day, which is the 26th of December. It's a public holiday unless you work in retail or public services, or, you know, service industry, hotels and whatnot, I suppose. Anyhow, we were just sat around and I started House of Hearts by Modern Folk Embroidery, and again it's on the beautiful stitch 46 count, and I'm using a skein of floss that we got at Stitch North. If I get my face out of it might focus better. By Hand Dyed by Yolanda. It's cotton, variegated cotton floss, and I think it was a 25 metre skein of it that we each got, which was so generous. So I've decided to use this. Isn't it pretty? This fabric's called Ballet Slipper, and it was a hand dye of the month. That's going to be fabulous. I think I'll just drop some thread. There it is. Phew, didn't go on the floor. So that, and I figured if I do 200 stitches a day, I'll finish it in 100 days. But I'm unlikely to do that because I have other plans. And they're not small plans. My plans are not small plans. My water ingress thing made me realise how much I love my projects. And also how much stuff I had, because I had to move everything from my little corner of the sitting room out because of, you know, water. And also I was packing up, I kept, last year, I don't know if I mentioned, I put a load of my whips into my suitcase, so they were just stored out the way so they couldn't stress my head. Well, my daughter needed my suitcase for the long road trip I did on New Year's Day. I took her up to see her boyfriend. So I had to move those whips into a plastic crate. Fingers crossed that's okay in the garage. It's a watertight plastic crate and it's off the ground, so it should be fine. And so I did that, and then I found that there was this water problem, and so there was another plastic crate with more whips in. But doing that made me realise I don't want to lose these whips. I actually want them finished, and so I'm not stitching from stash, although I am. I just don't like calling it that. I think that sounds horrible. That sounds mean. I'm going to have a faithful year of stitching my projects that I've already chosen, already fallen in love with. Not necessarily already started. I've got hundreds of patterns or kits upstairs, along with 50 odd, nearly 60 whips, because I did get a fair few finished last year. So I'm having a year of being faithful to my stitching. But on top of that plan, I've got 6 big finishes I want to get in 2026. 6 for 26. And the first big finish, I don't know if I should say it out loud, because if I say it on here, I will... I don't know, something about saying my plans out loud makes me want to not do them. But let's go for it. The first big finish for 2026, I hope, or one of the big finishes, won't be the first one, will be AKGIT by Modern Folk Embroidery. As you can see, I've progressed quite well. I've finished that big green tree. I think last time I showed it on here, I had the orange tree done. I've done the big tree and a couple of the small round dots. Looking good, I think. I don't know what you can see because it's in front of my face. That's my plan to get that finished this year. So you'll see a lot of that in my videos, because that is going to be a daily stitch, or as near to daily as I can make it. And that's all the plans for this box. Let's pop that down. So that's project 1 of 6. Project 2 of 6, no surprises to anyone who knows me, that I really do want to get this finished, even though I dislike stitching on it. Well, I like it once I'm in the flow, and I don't think I'm ever going to get into the flow while I'm sat here, because this is the exercise bike. My Lowry's on the wrong side. I can't really get comfy, but it is this bunny for my younger daughter. I mean, she's 18. She's not young. Sorry, I'm just untangling the threads. This is by Martha Bowyer for the Bright Agency. Or I don't know if the company's called My Cross Stitch. Anyway, that's the front packet details. I got it in John Lewis about 2 years ago. And this is where I'm at. That's not bad, is it? I started down here in this ear just before Christmas to get another bit done. So I would like to get that finished this year, is the plan. Hopefully. Ideally, before she goes to university in September. Well, ideally by the end of January, because I just want it over and done with. The next one in the plastic box, I've been very good, I've got more ready, you see, will come as no surprise either. I think 2026 is the year to finish a 2021 stitch along, and that stitch along is Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. So I've got 2 planned finishes for Fruits of Plenty. Or I could have been organised and told you how much I've got left to do on each of them. A fair bit is the answer to that on this one. Even bigger a fair bit on AKGIT. Oh, sorry, AKGIT is being stitched on 28 count 1/1 with Roxy Flosco threads. The bunny is being stitched on 36 count opalescent linen by Coffee Craft using the kit threads. This is being stitched on what I think is 32 count linen of some description, using these hanks of thread that I bought in 1997, 1998 in Manchester for 50p a bag, and in a bag came like all of this. So I'm hoping to use that up quite a lot and get that done. Isn't it lush? See, I looked at it and I was like, why am I stitching other things? Why did I start other things? So that is goal number 3. Again, no deadline on that one. I think the only one with a deadline is Isabel's bunny. Okay, it's number 2. That means I've got 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. I'm on it. Number 3 is going to be this, which is a excuse me, a Luca S kit, and it came with 16 count pre-gridded fabric, which I then very quickly swapped out for 25 count pre-gridded fabric, and this is my progress. I think it goes that way up. I love the colours. I love stitching the tiny stitches. Is it that way up? No, it's that way up. Sorry. I love the colours. I love the tiny stitches. What's not to love? It looks so real, especially in person. It's quite a lot left to do. I don't know how much because it's a paper pattern, and just for reference, this is part of the pattern, and so can you see how big that is? There's 6 pages, 6 A3 pages. It covers my dining table when I stitch it. I stitched that. Oh, this feels damp. Oh, I hope not. I'm now paranoid. Everything feels damp. So I sit at the dining table and stitch on it and colour it in as I go. It comes with all the beautiful threads. I'm going to have masses left over because it was meant for 16 2/1, and I'm doing it 25 count 1/1. Oh, yummy colours. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And I'd like to get that obviously finished and in a frame because it's beautiful. I'm stitching that with Natalia, in that we've started it and there is no pressure on either of us to finish it with Natalia from Crafting with Natalia. That was project 4. Project number 5 for 6 for 2026 is going to be this one, which looks like this. It's called Arabesque. It's by Jan. So my battery was full. Not my battery. My battery is full. My storage was full. That's never happened, so I had to go and work out how to delete things. Hopefully that won't happen again, because I'll remember to, there's lots of videos on my, or was lots of videos on my phone of me talking at, but they're all on YouTube, so I don't need to keep them, right? Arabesque by Jan Hicks Creates. I've always wanted to stitch it but couldn't decide on the colour because it's such a striking pattern. And I think I have a colour in mind if I would stitch it with just one colour now. I'd like to do it in a really deep emerald green, but I haven't done it in emerald green, and it has got a hanging thread and it hasn't been ironed. But here's mine. Oh, the colour's not really showing up brilliantly well because of the fact the sun's coming up probably, and but this is where I'm at. This is number 5 of the stitches I would like to get finished this year. It's not got masses left. It should be a really quick finish. The hardest thing is working out what colour to put where, and I think I'm pretty much decided on that, but doesn't it look fun? I don't know what I'm going to do with it once I've finished it. I don't think it's necessarily something I want to have on my wall. I just wanted to stitch it. And it'd be nice to have it finished, wouldn't it? But I probably ought to do something with it, otherwise I have risked the potential of it being ruined by damp. I'm not bitter, honest. So that's that one, which lives in this Coffee Craft Creation, not Coffee Craft Creations, this coffee bag from Evertote, which I bought at Stitch North last year, because it's like stitching with these colours gives you the jolt of a shot of coffee. That's how I remember what bag it's in anyway. And then Project 6, like I said, these decisions, these wishes to finishes are not small. The project number 6 I want to get finished in 2026 is, and I tried to get an online picture of this to add in, but it's not on the Gecko Rouge website anymore, is Gecko Rouge Peter Pig by Tanya Bond. I love him. I love the fact he stood there with his little sailboat, his little paper boat. And this is where the little poppet is. I think I'm about 30% done. I've got a bit of a way to go. I'm stitching him 1/1 on what looks like 20. It's either 20. I think it's 28 count. 1/1 on 28 count. And he's great. And I do want him in a frame on the wall. So yeah, those are my 6 for 2026. You'll be seeing a lot more of those. As I forgot to tell you, Arabesque, I was stitching on Roxy Flosstube. What's it called? Temptation? Yeah, 36 count Temptation, using a mixture of Roxy Flosstube threads. And when I finish it, I'll probably tell you what they are. Sorry about the zip. If you're allergic, not allergic. If you, sorry. I've told you about this one. I'm so out of practice. Maybe it's why people write notes. Okay, so for the rest of today, I'm going to stitch on AKGIT because that's my daily stitch. And then I need to work on my round robin. So ages ago, some of us, Stitchology, Rachel suggested a round robin of some Carolyn Manning charts. And I was put in a group with Tan, Amy and Ro. And we got a bit held up. Life happens, that's totally cool. And I've got 2 at the moment to stitch, and so I'm working on this one, which is Tan's. I don't know if you want to see it, Tan, if you're watching. If you don't, turn your eyes off. Let me just put this stitch to the back. Oh, I don't know how it goes. Maybe we'll just leave a hanging thread. So this is where we're at, and I'm obviously doing this corner here, and then we'll send it on its merry way. My plan is to get my quarter done by the end of the month, and then work on the next one I've got and get that done in a month. Then I've got one more to do, and then we're all caught up. Sorry, there's some birds in the tree. There's a robin and a starling, I think, having a bit of a scrap in the tree. Robin's holding its own though, which is very bizarre. It normally just flies away. Maybe it's not a starling. Maybe my eyes are rubbish. But yeah, I like my chair being here because I can sit and stitch and watch the birds. I don't like my chair being here because the setup is all wrong. So I don't know. Might need to have a rethink of the configuration of the lounge in the dining room. So yes, I'm going to work on this today. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it across the bottom of the name of the pattern, and I think it's just all the DMCs. Mine I did, and I changed it to Roxy Flosco colours. I did my own conversion, as many purples as I could find, basically, in my stash. And this is done on sparkly fabric, which makes my eyes go funny. Oh, and everyone stitches different to how I stitch. But I have been brave and I've tried doing the whole turn it by 90 degrees, and you can stitch normally, and that does work. She says, triple checking, looking at the stitches. Oh, and that's, as they say, I've got another plastic box there. Oh, that might be a new start later on in the week. I wanted a new year, new start, but I'd gone for a long drive. And I was just shattered when I got home. Maybe it's not a starling, maybe it's something else. Anyway, I'd been for a long drive, absolutely tired, slept for a couple of hours as soon as I got in the door. So I was going to do my New Year, New Start on New Year's Day, the 2nd of January, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. But I spent all day stitching on AKGIT and going through boxes of cross stitch magazines, because they were down there by the damp, so I need to go through those. And I was just pulling out my favourite patterns from each magazine, so reducing the 2 A4 paper boxes, if you know what I mean, to hopefully only something like that, which is a lot more, or a lot less unsightly and a lot more storable than 2 boxes of paper. I've still got another box to do. I did one yesterday, 1.5 with Mum here, and I've got one more box to do. But I want to stitch today. I'm babbling. Thank you for coming. If you're still watching now, well done. Have a wonderful couple of weeks. I hope to be back in a week or a couple of weeks. And I think my videos will be probably quite shorter than this one. Now I've explained what I'm doing, because I'm only going to be stitching on a few things, she says. Who knows? Take care. Bye-bye.